Mike McCool here in the Royal Examiner studio, and with me today is Patrick Quest. Patrick is the athletic director at Christendom College. Welcome, and it's very rare we get to talk to somebody from Christendom College. It's one of those best kept secrets in Front Royal. You know what I mean? It's
great to be here. I appreciate you having us.
It is great. So, this is a big year this is Super Bowl, but what's the Super Bowl at Christendom College? I mean, we're doing rugby. What all do you do out there? I mean, there's just so many. I know you don't have a football team.
We do not have football, but rugby.
You have a real football team, but not an American football.
We don't throw on the pads or the helmet. We just bash each other without them
with sticks.
But we have a good number of sports actually. Christendom's about 550 undergrad.
Wow, that's hard to believe. I can remember when it was 125 students was what they had, and I thought, wow, how do they hold a college with 125?
Yes. No, fortunately, we've been growing and adding different student athletes to support those sports.
Yeah.
And 11 varsity sports, 6 in the fall, 2 in the winter, and 3 in the spring keep us moving.
Yeah, both male and female type
Male
sports?
And female. In the fall, men's, women's soccer, men's, women's cross country, women's volleyball, rugby 15s, which is 15 men on the field duking it out.
So there's different kind of rugby?
There is, because then in the
I know a lot about rugby.
We and then in the wintertime we just have women's and men's basketball, and then in the springtime we have softball, baseball, and then rugby 7. So it's the same field, but instead of a bunch of big guys duking it out, it's more speedy guys. You're running up and down the field.
I can remember when my grandson played soccer. Think a 5-year-old playing soccer. All they did was just run from one end and look around like. That's what I'm thinking of when you're saying they're running the field. But no, they're very athletic. I mean,
they're quicker games. It's not the 40-minute halves or 45-minute halves. I think just of grudging it out.
Yeah.
They're 15-minute games, or 15-minute halves, I apologize, I believe. And then it's much speedier, much quicker.
So, sports plays a major role in colleges today. I can remember, and I'm thinking, why in the world do you have sports in a college? You have a liberal arts college, so why in the world do you have sports out there? What's that dynamic they bring to college life?
Well, liberal arts education, we're trying to develop the complete person, the full person. Read, think, write, educate yourself. Not educate yourself, but just being able to, be educated.
Well, another thing.
And athletics goes teamwork. Right with that.
Teamwork. How to play together, how to learn the process. It's kind of like, math. Oh, I never use that math. Trust me, you'll use it every day. Those thinking skills and processes that you learn. And I remember talking to people about going in the military, being an officer, and, they don't really want a highly technical degree. They want degrees that people know how to communicate, how to get along with people, how to carry on a conversation, how to work as a team. I mean, those are all kind of things.
What do you do in the face of adversity?
Exactly.
So staying calm under pressure.
That's what a liberal arts degree used to be. Now it's kind of like, I don't know what it is, but I'm sure it's the traditional liberal arts at Christendom.
It's and I'm going to agree with you there because, you get all your different liberal arts education. Sure. The Naval Academy, for instance, is technically a liberal arts education, but it's also STEM.
Yeah.
So, but I firmly believe, and that's, Coach Tom Vanderwoody, who used to be the original athletic director, he believed in helping to form the full person, and whether it be academically, Christendom being a Catholic college, whether you're Catholic or Christian, but then the athletics that plays a role as some of the things you said. Those life lessons you're going to learn from practice, in the games, in those close games, prepping for a serious opponent.
Right.
It's just like prepping for a test, a paper, or whatever.
Right.
Life working together for a shared goal.
Sure. Life is like a 3-legged stool. You have your spiritual side, your physical side, and if any one leg is missing, it doesn't really, it's hard to be balanced.
Exactly. Try to find that healthy balance of all.
It is. That's good. So I think the sports thing that you're doing out there and those kind of programs really bring, like you said, it brings a a different perspective of people. And so what kind of games and where do you play? And, I'm just curious because, we're out here in Front Royal, so you must have to do a lot of traveling.
We do travel. Our home games, we have a couple Bermuda fields on campus, and so soccer and rugby are right there on those Bermuda fields.
He's throwing around all this high-tech sports talk. Is that like Bermuda grass?
Bermuda grass, yes. The beautiful carpet that you see on golf courses.
Bermuda. And if you don't keep it cut, boy, your nose you'll be blowing
about 3
your nose.
times a week in the summer. But we're blessed to have those, and I know teams love to come down and play, especially the rugby teams that are like, usually we're just in like some muddy field somewhere. And then we have the gym on campus, Thomas S. Vanderwoody Court.
Right.
We play our volleyball and basketball games. And then baseball, softball, we play actually over here at R.E. Mason and Bing Crosby. We work with the county, and Tiffany and co have been great to help with that.
We got great facilities here. I mean, you're using some of the county facilities like baseball and stuff. It's great.
No, there's a lot of teams that say, hey, we want to come play in your stadium. And I said, I wish it was our stadium, but it's not. It's the county's, but yes, let's schedule a game.
I could just see Christendom out there hanging that big sign in front of Bing Crosby Stadium, just like, quick, take the picture.
I think we would be we'd be kicked out real quick. So
it's great though. There's so much stuff that these colleges. So do you have like scholarships and entice people to come to Christendom?
So anything that we have is connected to academics. So similar to NCAA Division III, where you got to have the academics along with the athletics.
Okay.
And
so you just don't let a good player play because
as much as that would be fun, at the same time, it's the way that I was brought up is, hey, you want to do all these sports, you got to take care of the academics also. Right, and so I know Coach Tom back in the day instilled that in us, and then it's something that just goes hand in hand.
Sure.
As much as I would love for our kids to go on and play professionally, even if they do, Father Time, you have to hang it up sometime. Even Tom Brady today officially hung it up. We'll see.
Did he really?
We'll see how long that actually lasts.
Maybe he just goes from team to team,
Well, we'll see if this is an official retirement.
Yeah, but when they put those big checks out there, they all of a sudden, I think I can make it one
more year. But that's where the value of the education comes in, and then also those lessons that that you're learning from, the preseason work, the season, and the ups and downs of a season. The hard work for a great win, the hard work for a tough loss. And then after the season ends, working on those weaknesses, but all those returning players, all the fall sports are starting now with postseason work between the weight room, and then if it gets warm and stops snowing, they'll be outside on the field soon.
Sure.
But
because these guys get up early in the morning.
We do 6 a.m. workouts.
I was going to say I've seen the rugby and the lacrosse team, like they do a lot of running, and they get up early before class and work out for a couple hours, and they go to class and come back and
even with our one gym, when basketball's doing their preseason work to work around the volleyball schedule and everything. Yeah, the basketball teams, in order to get a good solid workout, get the conditioning, the weight room, the shots up, 6 a.m. becomes your
go-to time.
Maybe your best friend, maybe not your best friend.
Yeah.
But that's when everyone can get in, and
that's where we learn to go to bed early.
Yes, hopefully.
So these are the roles of. We were talking to Patrick before we started. As this term athletic director, you hear it a lot in schools. I was just talking about one today. But what all do you do? I mean, so you're not really the coach per se. We don't want to coach. That's always the guy that gets all the glory. But you're kind of like behind the scenes kind of guy.
And that's perfectly fine.
You love that. You like that, don't you?
I do. No, I did love coaching. I love the relationships that I got to build with my players during that preseason season.
Right.
And even taking over the AD job at Christendom, it's a small enough institution, it's a small enough program that I can build relationships.
Right. You know who the players are.
I know who the players are.
And each have personal.
But I can understand, hey, this is what you're going through as a player. At what the coaches are going through. I understand what the coaches are going through.
Right.
And so I try to help assist, whatever it is, with that. Be a liaison, with the administration.
Yeah.
But we coordinate all the different schedules between Ian Heisler, my assistant. He tackles the day-to-day operations, and so looking more now in between the scheduling, just the gym schedule, the field schedule, people
Travel.
reaching out to rent, the transportation stuff, the hotels, the making sure we're staying within our budget.
No,
of
that's
things.
a big thing. I was going to say, and how many students are involved in the sports program?
In the varsity athletics, it's about 150.
Okay,
so it's a good number of the 500-ish.
Yeah, they still teach PE in college. I mean,
not at Christendom. You get your workout. Even non-athletes, the gym is packed between our aerobics room, the weight room, and then we added cross country paths on campus.
Right.
And so a lot of people walk them, jog them. Not even just the cross-country runners. A lot of people, faculty and staff, you can see just kind of taking a break from their, they'll walk campus in midday, just take a break from there.
Sometimes you need that. You need that space, don't you? I mean, even athletic people need them.
Yep.
And it's, these ADs, I was talking to Patrick, I said, about ADs, and he says, oh, yeah, sports management. And you don't think of that term, sports management, but Patrick has an MBA in sports management. I mean, that's impressive, Patrick.
Well, thank you.
I mean, that's a lot of work. I mean, that's not something you just show up and get.
Yeah, no, it was fun is maybe not the correct word, but doing the sports marketing side of it, or the finance side of it, or entrepreneur side of it. It was I learned a lot, but it was fun just to be creative within those classes.
Right.
Of
more than just playing rugby or lacrosse or something.
So,
we do a lot of work with DECA over at the Warren County High School, and they have a sports management part of DECA, sports marketing, and these kids are learning that. And I know Mr. Gardner there has told them, these little things that you're doing in high school, when you go to college and you tell them you were in a sports marketing program or a sports management program, and you did the score and you did the stats and you did this, he said they will suck you up and find some sort of scholarship for you, because it's a vital
finding
thing.
Just between having a home game for different things. Through Huddle, we have the stats and the filming and the streaming of everything. But prior to that, you need your line judges, you need your statisticians,
it's all about
your
the
scoreboard.
Isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
And you got to make sure that all that's done correctly also, because the opposing team and our team, you want to have it correct.
Right. Want to match people
You want to make sure that exactly, that it's when I came in... Well, it is the athletic world. It's a $1 billion industry for a reason.
It's amazing
between the NFL and college sports.
We always tell somebody,
nuts.
How do they pay these guys $100 million to play basketball or football, or even golf is getting into the big money.
Yeah.
The
LFV,
they start paying money for. Is there a professional rugby and lacrosse teams?
There is professional.
Not so much in the United States, but
No, there's a team in D.C. It's growing even in the United States.
Yeah.
We had a general Owen Kennedy graduated last May, and I know the professional D.C. team was trying to
recruiting
lure him. Even as a junior, they were trying to get him to come practice and everything.
Wow.
But he would have lost his eligibility for basketball.
Yeah.
And so he put it off. But rugby's his back, and hopefully it's healthier. Yeah. But Coach Jim lured him back to help coach, and so Owen is he's a huge asset, whether it was on the field or now in the coaching side of it.
So is the life of these kind of players longer in the sports world compared to like football, or basketball? Even there, if they play 5 years, that's a long time sometimes.
Post college, you mean?
Yeah, yes. Post college. Yeah.
No, I mean the shelf life of an average NFL person is, I think, 3.25 years.
Yeah.
NBA is not as long. Now you can go play overseas or in the G League,
sure.
But it's even baseball. You have your farm systems,
sure.
But that's not easy either.
I know we were talking to the Front Row Cardinals was in yesterday, and we were talking about getting ready for the season coming up in May and June, and the coach and picking the team. And they don't get paid.
Yeah, no, that's
but they really go
if you
after
coach the sport, it's because you love it.
That's what they can tell. They've already come back, and these kids, everywhere I've seen them at the colleges, and we've traveled around, do some work with several other private, small colleges, and the sports program really is a big thing, and kids love it. They just love it.
No, it adds a different aspect to campus for sure. When you can come support your fellow classmates.
That's another side of it. It's not just the people playing on the field; it's the supporters,
the camaraderie all around,
the audience, so to speak, is part of the whole package. It's kind of interesting.
No, our gym is not large, but we try to pack it, and
I always say
it's
better to play
and,
to a packed house.
Yes.
So it's better to have a smaller one and fill it up.
Yes.
You do get energy. I'm sure when you played, when you have a full house playing and watching. I know during COVID when you had 10 people in the audience. That was really a downer for athletes.
I didn't think about it, but our trainer, Dr. Bush, who's got Performance Sport and Spine in town, the first home basketball game, he's sitting on the trainer table and I'm just sitting in a chair kind of over on the other side. He's like, "Isn't this great?" And I said, "Yeah, what's great?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Basketball. And we have fans. We're back." Yeah. And it was just, I knew what he was saying, but not exactly that. It was just, it is great to, you still want to be safe and be careful and everything, but it's just great to have packed gyms again, have people cheering, have
sometimes
the camaraderie.
The hair stands up on your arms when that special play happens and the crowd gets in the emotion of it. Yeah,
a big shot goes down,
it does.
Or a big goal,
I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about it.
A try, in the fall, or just a back and forth set, and we end up winning that set in volleyball, or just finishing a long drive, with a try for rugby. It's I don't know. You get excited for those young women and men.
Sure.
Because the hard work they're putting in on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
And so now when people are actually watching and the camera's on,
sure,
they're excelling and doing well, and all that hard work is paying off. And so it is exciting. And I'm sure that, you draw energy when you're exhausted.
There's a synergy, from that.
Yep.
So how do you go about recruiting students around the country? Because people come from all over the world, really, to come to Christendom.
They do. We, 27-ish states are represented. I think 4 or 5 countries are represented. And that's just students on campus.
Yeah.
But then a lot of our different student athletes, too.
Right.
And recruiting, it's usually an interest in when someone reaches out to us, or there's different schools that are solid academically, they're solid athletically, and I go down and try to meet with the ADs, their coaches, whether it be in this area, so it's driving distance, or if I got to jump on a plane.
Sure.
It's showing interest in kids, and the youth well enough today. Yeah. A kid wants to be wanted.
You better.
They want to be loved, and they want to be a part of something.
Yeah, they do.
And so for a Division III caliber kid, and we've been blessed to have some Division II caliber athletes, the opportunity to continue to play after high school, not everyone gets that opportunity. I don't know the exact percentages, but the number of high school athletes, it's a fifth that actually get to play collegiately?
Sure.
And so...
And especially in the sports other than football. And so I guess as things, it's kind of like soccer. 10 years ago, soccer wasn't very big sport.
It's a growing sport.
But that thing is just like mushroomed all around in schools and high schools and elementary schools. I mean, they're pushing it down right here in our town. We have the Front Royal Soccer Association. We do the uniforms for them. There's 450 kids that are on that play soccer during the summer. Think about that.
But that's great because those kids are staying active.
That's it. Yeah.
They're moving. They're staying active.
Students for you out there.
They're meeting. They're meeting other soccer kids that are in, and it's,
and they're all, they start out at, young kindergarten.
Yep. No, I remember
5
going
years,
through
all the way up through the ages, and so it's great that they're doing that, and and so many more. But if that was like football, you'd have 40 kids.
Yeah.
Compared to soccer, we got 450 kids participating in
That's
something.
incredible.
So that's a big difference. And I think that's what we're seeing in schools. They're pushing these sports into things that more people can be involved in.
Yeah.
Because you have the facilities. It's crazy just to have 40 kids in a sports out of 500 compared to having, all these other sports, basketball, rugby, and lacrosse, and et cetera, that more kids can get involved in. So that's great. It's great.
Yeah. No, it's great for... the young, the high schooler, lady, male, that, hey, I can go get a solid education, but I can still go play competitively, collegiately, travel up and down the East Coast and
I think
play.
too, and then they know when they get their degree from Christendom, it's not like getting it from some of these schools. They can actually learn. They can read when they graduate, right? Is that you hear that story?
No, and we get they're interested in all the different professions, and so that's something in the last few years. I'm interested in engineering. I'm interested in getting into law, medicine, teaching, administration, athletics.
Right.
Can you kind of point me in alumni or in different directions to connect me and
have a mentor somewhere?
Exactly, and that's we do that. We do an athletic alumni weekend in the spring with a mentorship aspect of it, and but no, it's we're blessed to have some really talented alumni, but then some really talented current athletes on campus.
Yeah, I've met quite a few people that. And I was talking to one of your students. His mother came the other night and spoke for school choice. She's a director out in Arizona, and she actually said she went to Christendom for a couple of semesters. And his son, he came here, and they live in Arizona.
Yep.
And
we get them from all across the country,
all over the place. So that's good. You go out but I think if you offer a product, which is what schools are doing, if you offer a good, solid product, if you build it, they'll come. And I think and the word gets out.
Yeah,
word gets out,
for sure.
Especially in the sports thing. If you're a rugby player, you can count on one hand the number of people going to have. Not maybe more, but that's going to have a good rugby team and really treat it serious.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, and that's treating it serious. That's what you want to do. You want to take your academics serious, your faith serious, your athletics serious, and in meeting with the different teams prior to their season and going over the contract and everything. It's like you're not going to take away from many of these aspects. You might lose out on some of your social life,
right?
But that's because you are choosing to be a student athlete.
That social life's overrated anyway.
Exactly. So there's You gotta learn to be disciplined with your time. Take care of business.
And it's better to learn this when you're young than wait until you're 60 years old and try to say, duh.
Yeah.
I always tell people that. I said, your kids don't realize how smart you are until you get about 30. Until they turn 30, and all of a sudden, Mom and Dad was pretty smart.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Patrick, it's a joy talking to you. There's probably more and more stuff we can talk about. Maybe we'll do that here in a couple of weeks. We'll get back together again. Maybe when your sports gets going, we'll get one of your players in here with you.
Well, if you'd like that.
We might be 6 o'clock in the morning if we have to do.
Well, they're up ready to go. So,
but it's great. I mean, I'm glad you came in. We need to get more involved and we try to twist the arm out there to come in and see us. For again, small staff, small school, busy, trying to. We
wear
away.
Many hats, but that's just part of. I mean, in any profession you're in, wear many hats.
As people say, you have a beautiful facility.
Thank you.
You walk out the door of the dorm and you can't, you see God's beauty right in front of you.
Yes.
You don't get that in New York City.
It's funny you say that. We get, teams coming from D.C., New York, wherever. And they're like, wow, you have a lot of property out here. And then it's just our fields. You have the landscape of the the Blue Ridge.
You don't have to worry about
mountains.
breaking windows,
No. But it's I call it God's country.
It is. It's great.
It's beautiful.
Well, we appreciate you coming in and talking to us.
Well, I appreciate your time and having me.
And we'll have a begin. So you think of something really going on good, let us know your schedules too, because we'll let our viewers know what's going on at Christendom, because you've been here a long time. Really, I mean, Christendom's been here longer than what people realize.
Since 1977 it started. Athletics a little bit further down, but
I can remember those days.
We're celebrating our 45th anniversary this year.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
It is. Well, I'm not. I wasn't there for the beginning, but
I came here the same time the school opened. So it's I remember those days. That's what I'm saying. You're building it where?
Yeah,
it's a dirt road.
Yeah. No, it's with the river right behind us and everything. It's a beautiful landscape.
Yeah, it's great.
So.
All right. Nice meeting you, Patrick.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Keep working. I tell Patrick he needs to work on his doctorate degree because, he said he's had enough. All right. Thanks again.
Thank you.